Okay, hello friends. I'll do this podcast by walking because having some health issues, so sitting is not very much favorable for me right now. So the topic is very normal topic and very much relevant topic to those who work daily. So I'll tell this by a certain number of stories. Suppose there is a person who like to work in an environment where high level of focus is required, or suppose he works in a domain where high level focus is required, or he likes to work in an environment where he choose to have a kind of deep work, which is for which wants to have shorter sprints of deep focused work, where less engagement is required, where he wants to work by himself and do not engage with more people, or maybe he this is more of the ideation phase where he want less engagement or less intrusion by the people. So in this kind of environment, so if that person has to work at home, or if that person has to work in a shared working space, or he has to have his own office, so he needs to have an idea where he's working right now and what are the problems that can occur in way, and how he's gonna get the solution of it. If he is not like thinking these things in advance, and these if these things will come while he's working already, then he will be annoyed, and he will be able to ultimately his focus will be lost, and he won't be able to get the output that he really wants. So in for these kind of situations, although he needs to have a diversified number of solutions, he needs to engage himself in activities that gives him pleasure, that gives him calm and focus. These can be profitable and unprofitable in nature. It can be engaging with people, it can be community based work, it can be personal work, self work also, it can be art related work, it can be particular research related work or professional work also. So depending on what skills you have and what you are made up for, and what is the current objective in your life in short term and long term goals, everything has to be aligned with your short term and long term goals. If it is not aligned, and if you're unnecessarily spending your time, whether it's meeting a new colleague, creating new friends, and if it's not aligning with your current goals, then you will be ultimately wasting your time in the end only. It is good to keep some time for these activities, but in the long run you need to make time, or need to connect with people who really support you, or who really admire working along with you, because ultimately they are the one who are going to foster your growth and everything. So suppose you are working in a professional environment where there are some people who really like working with you, some people who are neutral, and some people who are really don't like the idea of working along with or under with you or guiding you. So you need to build your environment in such a way that these things look pros and cons, like people who are in support of you, or people who don't really like you that much. So these things should not bother your growth and your work atmosphere, and the kind of impact you want to perform at the work you want to create in the work environment. Because if you allow for these things, your personal and your professional growth needs to be aligned. Because both of these things are not aligned, then one can distract other. If professional growth is hindering personal life, then ultimately you will not be very happy. And if personal life is coming in the way of professional life, then also you will be having certain number of issues. So I'll just keep this video very short, and I'll come again with this topic, and we'll discuss it again in detail. Thank you so much.